Today on the show is Nate Fountain. I got a truck full of beef, a truck full of beef. They're doing this repetitive theme of the film,
Yep.
repetitive storyline in the product on
Yep.
purpose because people are not paying attention. I was watching this cooking show. My wife and I was watching this cooking show, and on the show, they keep repeating themselves. And I'm being annoyed. I'm like, why did they say this 5 times?
Lyrics are BB. BB. You just need to keep saying BB. So you just need to keep mixing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beep, beam. Beep, beam. Beep, beep, beam. Beep, beep, beam. Beep, beep, beep. Mix it. Beep, 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 beep. Mix with more passion. Let me really know that you're mixing it.
Right.
We're going global.
We heard you, our generation, the first time. You don't need to say it again. I really heard you when you said it again because you didn't need to say it again.
Yeah.
Right? This generation, they're on the phone. They're busy. Right? So the person goes, oh, look, this is a true story. It's a true story. It's like, oh, look, she's putting the onions. It sounds like a kid show. Right?
Right.
Look, she's putting the onions in the pot. Other person goes, she's putting the onions in the pot. I feel like I'm watching Wizard of Oz. It's like, yo, he's putting the onions in the pot. Oh, no, I am not joking, man. 5 times. I'm going to count. I'm going to count the next episode we watch. How many times did they say that?
Right.
So it'll be like a group of them, and it'll be like, the onions. Ah, she's putting the onions. I'm like, this TV show is driving me crazy.
Yes.
Because I'm in my 50s. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
I don't have
I
the-
get it.
Right, but this is the way they're doing it. They just did the rip with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. And Matt Damon is talking about, hey, look, this is how they wanted us to do the movie. It's just a different generation, right? Yeah. So so Matt Damon was like, they're telling us, go ahead and do the reveal in the beginning and repeat things for the whole movie. So I was watching the rip and I'm like, I hate this movie, but I didn't know why.
Mhm.
See, I wasn't making a connection because I'm not paying attention like that. And my daughter said to me, hey, you know that film, The Rip, they're running an experiment. I said, what are you talking about? And she starts explaining it to me. Like, yeah, they're intentionally saying this 5 times. I said, oh, that's why I hate this movie.
Oh, I don't have to watch. I haven't watched it. I'll have to watch it.
True story. It's probably a beautiful movie,
Okay.
right? I'm saying the way they did it is what's annoying. It's not that it's a bad story. The actors, everybody's doing their gig. But I just didn't understand what was itching me as I'm watching this movie. And I'm sitting there like, why is this movie annoying me? I'm not realizing they're going, hey, the onion is in the pot.
Again.
Let's hear the few things that you make for dinner or whatever.
Steaks. So I'm pretty decent cooking steak. And I can cook it a couple of different ways. I can make it, I can make them on the grill, charcoal grill.
Okay.
I can make them in cast iron skillet on the stove. I also have a broiler. So sometimes I'll make them in the broiler, depending on if I'm really being lazy.
Okay.
And take, if I cook a steak that thick, that's maybe 4 minutes and it's done. So then I can make a few of them for the family really quick. Hamburgers. I make some pretty good chicken wings. I have this thing that I do with the chicken wings where I will, I will, let the chicken wings marinate overnight, and then I will take them and put them on the smoker, and I'll smoke them about 250 for about 3.5, 4 hours. And then I will cook them. They'll cook all the way through, so they're up to temp. And then I let them cool down to room temperature, and then I throw them in the fridge overnight. Then I take them out of the fridge, and I throw them in the deep fryer the next day when we're ready to eat them. Throw them in the deep fryer, deep fry them. I have a big, huge bowl of I like barbecue wings. So a big, huge bowl of barbecue sauce that I've doctored up a little bit. Shake them up in the barbecue sauce, and then immediately throw them on the grill and char the barbecue sauce into them. And then if you like them really wet, I'll throw them back in the sauce.
Wow. You're cooking the hell out of that chicken.
Cooking the hell out of the chicken, bro.
You did a lot of things to make sure that chicken is delicious.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Let's go back to the steak.
Okay.
So I don't eat steak. I've eaten steak, right? But you were talking about how thick it is and how that makes a difference into how you cook it. For me, the only thing I understand about that is whether it's dry or juicy. But the thickness, the cut versus a thicker cut, what's the difference? And when you say, "Oh, I cooked it just right and I made it this thick."
So I like my steak to have like a little bit of a crust on the outside of it, a little crunch or charring on the outside of it. So the thicker the steak, the more char I can have, the juicier it is inside. Because obviously it's going to take the inside longer to cook than the outside. The thinner the steak, I can still get it charred on the outside, but it'll be more well done on the inside. So I can't really char it as much on the outside. But generally, the thicker the steak, the better you can cook it, if that's how you want to see it. Yeah,
I understand
the juicier it is on the outside, inside. Yeah.
How many bottles of hot sauce do you have?
You're going to hate me for this. I don't like hot sauce.
Okay.
But I can tell you we have probably 4 or 5 bottles of hot sauce, different types.
Because your wife loves hot sauce?
My wife likes hot sauce.
The kids? Do the kids like hot sauce?
Not necessarily, no.
Did you feed it to them?
I didn't, because I don't like it. So no.
Was mama making some fish and putting some hot sauce on it?
Listen, my wife put hot sauce on everything.
Hey, maybe women, like we got the hamburgers for the guys, right? Maybe women would. Hold on, let me say it. Take two. Okay. Like we got the hamburgers for the guys, and I'm gonna get guys to talk about the hamburgers and why we call women hamburgers. You go from the bun. You can say, "Yo, you like a quarter pounder." You mean the meat up top, the meat at the bottom, the cheese melting. You know what I'm saying? Warm you up, and the cheese melts. Like you could the tomatoes
right.
are juicy. You know what I'm saying? Juicy hamburger. You know what I'm saying? We get the guys to talk about the hamburgers so that the girls, some ladies can understand what is this hamburger thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe the hot sauce, maybe y'all can tell us what you do with that hot sauce. And maybe make feel like Nate. Nate's like, yo, I don't even eat hot sauce, but I eat barbecue sauce. I eat barbecue sauce. I don't eat hot sauce.
I tear some barbecue sauce up.
Give me some barbecue sauce. And they start
and I can
talking
tell
about
you.
the hickory. And
bruh, come on. Yes. We got about 8 barbecue sauces downstairs. You talking my language now.
That's what's up. It's barbecue sauce. So my point is, you're using a food to describe a person. Why it's got to be all hate? Why it's got to be all stupid? Why don't it just be real? Like, hey, listen, maybe they're coming from this place. Or maybe they are coming from a place that's silly. I don't know. I just think it's something we could tackle on this show.
Yeah. I mean, that was my first time hearing about that, man. I had never heard them calling women hamburgers.
Yeah, hamburgers, cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Is there like a double-decker, triple bun, triple stack?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going to have to ask my son. I'd like to know.
Yeah. Yeah, see what he says.
Yeah, definitely.
What about, you said cooking. Your wife does all the cooking primarily?
We split it.
Okay.
Yeah, we split it.
How do y'all do that?
Just whoever starts cooking first, I guess.
Okay.
I cook a lot when I'm home. But like I told you, I only make a couple of things. So when she gets sick of those couple of things, then she'll start cooking again. And she's a really good cook.
Okay.
But yeah, because she's sick of it, having to cook all the time, she's like, I'll just eat what you make until I get sick of it. Because I'm going to make the same thing. Make the same thing over and over again. What we
my son,
hamburgers.
He does that. He gets really good at something, and he just makes that.
Yeah.
So hamburgers, you make hamburgers.
I make the hell out of a hamburger.
Yeah.
I love hamburgers.
Chicken.
Hey.
And chicken.
And chicken. I don't make chicken as often though.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I am a lover of hamburgers. I like chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
And we bought we invested in a whole cow. So I have a freezer outside full of beef. Every cut imaginable, cuts I've never heard of before. We added. So
okay. You know I'm gonna talk about that. Hold on a second. You're not gonna just walk away. We invested in a whole cow.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Don't know what that means.
Okay.
Because at first when you said it, I thought the cow was alive. Okay. And then you started
he
talking
was
about
when we
all
invested
the
in
cuts.
him.
Then you started talking about all the cuts.
I've met the cow before. He had a name.
What's his name? What's the guest name?
Gary.
Okay, so as y'all are eating Gary, I understand why you got his name if you're gonna eat him. Okay.
Gary tastes good as hell. Dude. Gary is delicious.
Pause. Pause. Never know what the guests are gonna say on this show. Gary's delicious. And I told him, hey, describe your woman like she's a hamburger. He's like, oh no.
But Gary,
he said something intelligent. He started talking about like, well, the beef. The first time beef was eaten by humans. And I said, talk to her like she's a hamburger. Like, yo, baby, bring the buns over here. You know what? I don't want no buns. Like, just the lettuce on the lettuce on the outside.
Give me the meat, the juicy meat. Give me Gary. I'm sorry.
Is there any of Gary left?
Oh, there's a lot.
Or have y'all eaten all of them? There's a lot of Gary left.
Listen, we are eating the hell out of Gary. Once they butchered the cow, I think it was like 600 or 700 pounds of what they call hanging weight.
The kids, everybody's eating Gary.
Everybody's eking Gary. We tearing Gary's ass up.
Pause. Pause.
Capital P. Pause. We got so much ground beef. I'm like, people come over to visit. And I'm like, hey, there you go. Like a parting gift. Thanks for coming to visit.
So you like the people that have chickens. People like chickens do that. They have a bunch of eggs. And they're just giving them out to the community. People that have avocado trees are like, here, take these avocados.
Yeah. Chickens is something that we would like to get to out here on our property. But we've got every cut of steak you can possibly think of. It's funny because you get less than you think you would get. Like oh, I got a whole entire cow, so I'm probably gonna have like 30 ribeyes. And it's really not that much. You get like maybe 10 ribeyes.
Right.
You know, I think we got 12 actually, something like that, 12 ribeyes or something like that. But there's like certain cuts of beef, like the Delmonico steaks, which I had never even heard of before, that you get like 2. You know, the filet mignon, you get like 4. So you start to understand why this stuff is so expensive, because out of a whole cow, you're not going to get that many of them. So you're just like, oh, that's why it costs more money. That makes sense. Yeah. Why ground beef is so cheap. We literally have hundreds of pounds of ground beef. So
how does one invest in a cow?
Well, for us, it's easy. I live in the South, so I have cow farmers all around me. And you go to the farmer and tell him you want to buy a whole cow. He says, okay. So they, you pay for your cow. You pay for half of it up front. And that is the money to raise the cow. And then you pay for the other half once it's been butchered. So,
okay.
Yeah, it takes 10 months, I think, is the time span, I believe, from birth to butcher.
Okay, so you're buying this cow out the womb.
Mm-hmm. No, 10 months is, I think that's a lie. I may be lying. I don't remember.
So that's a teenager in layman terms.
Probably, yeah.
You go in and you invest. Do you pick him out? Do you say that one right there?
They kind of just pick them for you.
Okay, so you just
like,
going
we
down
pay for the cow. Yep.
Okay.
We went over to the guy's house, and because his farm is at his house, and he's like, "That's yours, number 2274." It's got a big old tag on his ear.
Okay, you say okay, and then 10 months later, they say, "Hey, your cow's mature for us."
He's ready to get butchered. Yep.
To butcher it, right?
Yep. They're like,
so
"Hey, we're gonna take."
They chop them all up and just give you all of it at once.
Yeah.
You have to find. You have to have a deep freezer and all this other kind of stuff.
You gotta have a deep freezer because there's a lot.
Right.
We have a deep freezer.
There's a bunch of meat. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a deep freezer and a refrigerator with a freezer, and we had to fill the freezer up.
Gary's in all of it.
Gary's in, and that's outside, and then I still have a refrigerator in the house that has.
And Gary's in a refrigerator in the house too.
And Gary's in everything that keeps shit cold. Gary's in all of it.
So Gary's all over the place.
And our cow actually, well, I said it was a big cow, but it actually wasn't that big of a cow because they have a couple of ways that they can raise them. You can get a cow that's raised on just grain only. So he eats the grain out of the trough. Those cows get really big. Our cow, or you can get a grass-fed, what's called grass-fed, grass-finished, which is the last month or 2 of its life. It grows up eating grass. And in the last couple months of its life, it eats only grass. Those cows tend to be much leaner, not a lot of fat. Then, so the cow that I mentioned previously, the grain cow, those grain cows, they get big and they have a lot of fat. They're big, they're heavy, they're fatter. And the cow that we have is kind of a hybrid of the two. It's a grass-fed, grain-finished cow. So they grass feed them, meat is lean, and then they finish them on grain. They just fatten them up just a little bit. And it seems like a good compromise.
Okay.
It's not too fatty, but it's still delicious.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow, that's a hell of a process. So your wife is like, we need some more freezers. We need some more refrigerators. I think this house is too small because you want to buy a cow and eat it. It ain't enough to just have some ribs like everybody else.
Nah, bruh.
Steaks is only 4. We're just gonna eat those and share them, guys. We're gonna share them and just get little pieces. This guy wants the whole thing.
Listen, we go shopping in the garage every day.
I'm sure you do.
What we gonna eat today?
That's why you cook the same thing. I just cook the same thing, man.
Exactly.
You're like Bubba Gump. You're like Bubba Gump of meat, of beef. Beef tallow tonight, baby.
Yep. Beef ribs.
Beef ribs. Beef steak. What you said, Demalo? What's the other part of the meat nobody ever heard of?
Delmonico steaks.
Delmonico
steaks.
Hey, baby, these are
man.
Delmonico. You're going to really love this tonight. All that shit tastes the same way.
So Bubba was from Bayou La Battery, Alabama, and his mama cooked shrimp. And her mama before her cooked shrimp. And her mama before her mama cooked shrimp, too.
You're putting A1 sauce on all that shit it tastes. You're going to put A1 sauce on all that shit.
Ain't no A1 around here, bruh.
He trying to block my joke. It needs to go clear on the mic. I'm going to say it 5 times like that TV show. They putting the onions in. Damn, bitch. I know they putting the fucking onions in. You done said that shit 10 times. My generation, you only need to tell us once. You ain't got to tell me no more. I'm out of here. You don't have to repeat that shit. Peace. That's our generation.
Yeah,
this generation,
we got
they on their phone. Hold on a second. They on the phone and you trying to break up with them. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, this is over. They don't even notice. They swiping their shit. Huh? You broke up with me? When did you break up with me?
Right.
Then they get hurt at that moment. When did you break up with me? I wasn't paying attention? No, right. Bitch, you was not paying attention. I broke up with you 2 months ago. Well, why are you still here talking to me then? How much does it cost to own a whole cow to eat?
Roughly $4,000, roughly.
So you pay the $2,000 up front, right? And then when they butcher it, there's the other $2,000.
Yeah, it's like $1,000. The cow is about $3,000, little over $3,000, and then you have to pay for the butcher, or the processing, if you will. So the butcher cuts it all up. We had to make us beef bacon, so they had to cure the beef bacon. They also double airlocked everything, like hamburgers. We had to make patties for us in double ziplock airlock and all that stuff. So you have to pay for all that service. So that was almost like $900 for the processing.
Yeah, processing. Did they ship it to you?
Packaging.
Oh, you had to go pick it up?
No, we went and picked it up. They're not far from us.
So it's coming in boxes though, right?
No, you need to bring your own bags, boxes, totes, crates, coolers. Wow.
Yeah, so here we go. All this beef, all these hamburgers. We got more steaks in here, babe.
I know.
Right?
I saw that. I was like, oh my God.
Hamburger. And then ground beef, more ground beef, more hamburger, and other cuts. What's this? That is cut bone, soup bones. And then Glow is putting stuff in the fridge over here. So she got a bunch of. Let me see that. Let me see that door.
Make sure this gonna close though.
Oh, that's not gonna close.
That's not gonna close. Nope.
Fill up the whole car.
The whole back of my pickup truck.
Full of beef. Pause.
Full of beef. Yep.
Pause.
Pause.
My back. Yeah. What kind of truck? My pickup truck is full of beef.
It's a country song, bro. My pickup truck is full of beef.
It's a different kind of podcast. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and they're very appropriate, and they're hitting you with the facts, and they're great. Here, we have a little fun and do the same thing. You can learn some things on this show, and then there's some things you never heard of. Like, what's that meat? Domingo. What's the meat?
Delmonico? Steak.
Delmonico. See, you can learn stuff on this show.
And Denver steaks.
Where's that at in the body? Where's the Delmonico?
I don't even know. I have no clue. I would have to look at my cut sheet.
Cut sheet. See, guys, I learned that today. Cut sheet.
Yeah.
You see, you can buy a whole animal. I didn't know this. My grandfather had a farm, and had chickens and animals and stuff all over the horses and all this stuff. And he was running a farm,
Yeah.
and we would go down to St. Simon's Island every summer to his house and my grandma's house.
That's
And
Atlanta,
there's pears
Georgia?
and stuff. This is in Georgia, but it's
Yeah.
South Georgia. All the Geechee people down in the South. Those are my folk. Those are my people, man. So you're down on the island, and there's swampland. So they used to have the Africans growing rice.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, let's do rice. We're already doing cotton. It's like we're making money.
Yeah.
Hey, let's sell some coffee. Let's do everything. And let's make money, right? So they was doing rice, and my people was a part of that whole thing. Yeah. And we take family members to the rice plantations and say, hey, this is where our bloodline comes from.
Yeah.
And we took our kids down there when they were little, like, hey, listen, this is where we came from. It's like I had to play in the backyard. Grandma had water all in the yard. I'm like, why do we live here? And it was like swampland.
Right.
Like water in the grass. You seeing snakes all the time. Like, why do you live down here? But then when you know family history, it tells you why y'all ended up there. You see, and just like for us, we moved out to California. My mom moved up to Atlanta. You see, so the genes started spreading out. But you're like, well, where did we come from, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, we was down here, because you go all the way back to Africa. My mom's bloodline, they were rice farmers.
Right.
They were rice farmers in Africa, right?
Right.
So they're doing this there, and they're like, yo, we trying to do rice. Give me some of those slaves, right? So, they shipped them down there. You see, so there's your grandma and them. Not that's your grandma, but there's that bloodline.
Sure.
Right? And you're just looking at, well, where did I come from? How did I get here? Because it's so common for us as humans to not acknowledge that we're not in control of any of this stuff. Like, look at the earth. What are you doing to keep the earth doing this and spinning? Today is probably more funny because it's...
Wow, that's a lot, though. It's right when they get to your house.
They were like, right here, because this is right here is the block. This is the block. It's one block downtown, right here. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, they're calling women hamburgers and cheeseburgers, right?
Okay.
And how do you see that? Like, imagine a woman as a hamburger, but it's something you want.
Oh, most definitely.
How would you describe that hamburger?
How would I describe the hamburger as a object of my desire? Like,
absolutely. What does she represent? Because you're talking about the woman. So what does she represent in this hamburger? Yeah.
That is a crazy question, but I'm going to go for it. Okay.
Go for it.
So for me, she represents, obviously, something that I like and enjoy. She represents something that makes me full or whole, however you want to look at that. She nourishes me.